So Campbell's has announced support for mandatory national GMO labeling. Yep, Campbell's Soups. You got it. Campbell's Company. They've really done something extraordinary here. This is a milestone in food transparency. Campbell's, of course, is found in virtually every grocery store and even convenience store, certainly in North America and in many countries around the world as well. Their food products feed probably at least 1 billion people on our planet. I'm just guessing. It's a huge number. It's more than just the population of the United States. It's global. And Campbell's doing this. You got to understand the environment in which Campbell's is announcing this support for national mandatory GMO labeling. You know, there is tremendous political pressure and even blackmail type of pressure from the biotech mafia that is run by a bunch of criminals, truly the most horrible people you've ever seen in any industry, mafia-type individuals, wife beaters, people who take bribes, people who lie, people who have criminal felony records, and they slander and they defame. This is what they do. And they try to strong-arm all these companies with all kinds of horrible threats and attempted bribery, influence, all these other things. So for a company like Campbell's to come out and reject that kind of attempted corruption and attempted dark influence is really phenomenal. You know, a lot of companies still are supporting the biotech industry all the way, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, General Mills, Kellogg's, many other companies like that, the big food conglomerates, and they're donating money to the Grocery Manufacturers of America, which the GMA, which has been found guilty of committing election fraud, money laundering in the Washington State ballot initiative. I mean, the GMA will also commit any crime necessary to block the public from learning the truth about what they're eating. Well, Campbell's has basically thumbed its nose even at the GMA and has announced that it's going to pull out from all of the anti-GMO labeling initiatives nationwide. In other words, Campbell's is no longer going to donate money to the groups, the front groups that oppose GMO labeling. This is huge. And wouldn't you know it, by the way, this has all been decided by Campbell's president and CEO, who is a woman, Denise Morrison. And the reason I point out that she's a woman is because if you look across the industry of who are the GMO shills, who are the operatives, who are the evil individuals running the whole system of obfuscation and deception and lies, it's all men. And I'm not saying all men are bad, obviously, but I've found over the years as the editor of Natural News that women are a lot more sensitive to food safety and food transparency. Women in particular, because they are the ones who carry children, obviously, during pregnancy, they're more concerned about what is in their diet that's going to affect the health of their unborn child. And even after the child is born, they want to raise healthy children with good nutrition, healthy food that they know is clean, food that they know isn't toxic. They want to be able to raise healthy children, and they understand that there's a link between nutrition and health, obviously. You know, you are what you eat, right? This is globally recognized as a fundamental truth. Good nutrition, clean food makes healthier kids. In fact, kids who are more intelligent, more cognitively capable, they will achieve better success in academic environments, you know, school, universities, and so on. So it's not surprising to me that this CEO of Campbell's is a woman, and that she is really, I think, the first CEO of a large food manufacturing company that has dared to go against the strong-arm mafia of the biotech industry. That's what's extraordinary about this. Now, I'm reading from a press release on the CampbellSoupCompany.com website. It's dated January 7th, 2016, and it's entitled, Why We Support Mandatory National GMO Labeling. I mean, number one, it's just extraordinary to see this. It means that we are winning. We, the clean food activists, we are winning. And of course we're winning, because everybody wants to know what's in their food. So the only reason that this hasn't already been made universal is because of the nefarious deceptions, lies, and corruption of the biotech industry and its shills. Every company in America should be saying, yeah, we support mandatory national GMO labeling. But anyway, Campbell's being, coming out and saying this is really a milestone. Now, the CEO, Denise Morrison, deserves a tremendous amount of credit for this. And I hope that she listens to this, because I'd like to say something directly to her as one of the leaders of the clean food activist community. Myself and others like Food Babe and Dr. Oz, Ronnie Cummins, Jeffrey Smith. Many of us have been fighting for exactly this, transparency. And it's really simple. We want to know what's in the food that we buy. It's not a complicated concept. And the fact that you, Campbell's, have made this decision will save you. I can't even begin, because I'm not ready to announce certain things. If I were a shareholder in Campbell's, I would be thanking my lucky stars that Denise Morrison made this decision later in the year. Later in this year, 2016, you will come to find out just how wise this decision was on the part of Campbell's. I'll just hint that I have finished construction of a new expanded laboratory, and we have some very very interesting projects coming up that are going to reward companies that have accurate GMO labeling or non-GMO labeling, and at the same time they will probably shame companies that are hiding those ingredients into massive financial losses. So, citizen science is on the march, and I'm part of that movement. Many others are as well. Campbell's, by making this decision on the part of Denise Morrison, has now positioned itself in front of that citizen science wave in a positive way that's going to protect the profits and the revenues of Campbell's, and also really enhance the public perception of the Campbell's company as being a company that is honest about what's in its foods. And that is absolutely crucial for survival, for economic survival. It's almost like, sure, there's still criticism of some of the things in Campbell's soup, high sodium content being probably one of the biggest criticisms. But there are others. Some of the soups contain sodium nitrite, the cancer-causing chemical that's in processed meat. Some of the soups still contain other questionable chemicals, but Campbell's is removing chemicals left and right. They have, I think they recently removed chemical additives or artificial colors or something along those lines. The point is they're moving in the right direction, and they're really taking a stand against the processed food pro-GMO fringe sector of the food industry, the GMA, the criminal sector of the food industry, which is all aligned with GMOs. And Campbell's has said, we're no longer going to participate in the criminal sector of the food industry. We're no longer going to hide behind labels and the dark act and the corruption and influence of academics and members of Congress. No, Campbell's has said, we're just no longer going to participate in that. We're going to do something different. We're going to label the GMOs. We're going to remove the chemical additives, step by step. We're going to be honest with our customers about what they're eating. They've even got a website. What's it called here? Sorry. They've got a website, what'sinmyfood.com, that explains what's in their food. Now, it's not a perfect track record on the part of Campbell's, in my opinion, but it's an extraordinary step in the right direction, and that's worth noting. And when I say it's not perfect, Campbell still says, quote, "We're in no way disputing the science behind GMOs or their safety." Well, of course they have to say that. They can't say the GMOs we've been using for the last 10 years are dangerous. So of course they have to say that. But in reality, there are legitimate concerns about the safety of not just GMOs, but the glyphosate that goes along with them. And one of the things that will be interesting to find out is how much glyphosate is in a can of Campbell's soup. Wish I knew somebody with a laboratory that could test for that. In any case, it's probably going to be less than is in other competing soups, because Campbell's is now going to label GMOs and obviously try to move away from GMO ingredients more and more as consumer demand shifts. This is all good news. Even though I can nitpick here on Campbell's a little bit, the bottom line is they've staked out a leadership position that's going to ensure the survival and growth of this company in the minds of consumers who are increasingly demanding transparency and honesty from food producers everywhere. The bottom line is, people like myself, food activists, clean food activists, we are not going away. In fact, we are becoming more economically empowered. We're building laboratories like I have done. We are gaining voice. We are gaining audience. We are gaining reach. And you cannot revert back to the age of hiding ingredients and hiding GMOs. Transparency is the gateway to commercial market success for all food companies. And Campbell's just took a leadership position on this entire issue. Good job, Campbell's.